Let's see. It says we're 10 seconds live.
We are live.
We're live.
That's actually scary.
And we are on 3 places all at once. We're on my Facebook page.
Okay.
Covenant Metal Show's Facebook page and Covenant Metal Show's YouTube channel.
Oh, scary.
I never get more than 10 people watching, so it's all good.
I have never gone live.
Well, no, you haven't. No. Well, no, you haven't.
Wait, I've never gone live on social media. This will be the first time I have ever been live.
It's okay. I'm here for you. I got you.
I don't do live.
I got you.
This is very unusual for me.
She's uncomfortable.
I am. I'm very uncomfortable being live.
We have one person watching.
Hi, whoever that is.
Whoever you are. Hello, whoever you are. Hey, Good Friday. Oh my goodness. It is Easter weekend. And man, I pray each and every single one of you out there has a very blessed weekend. And, you know, what does Easter mean to you, honey? Well, yeah, you guys can see Desiree. Okay, my beautiful wife, Desiree, for those who don't know.
Hi, everybody. Whoever's here. I don't do live. This is my first time. I'm very confused by the whole live thing.
Just be you.
Okay.
Just have a conversation.
All right. Okay. So Easter, it's all about the bunny, right?
Yeah.
It's all about the bunny. No, it's not about the bunny.
It's not about the bunny?
Or the eggs or the jelly beans or the chocolate. Even though that's a great part of Easter, but it is not.
You hurt me. I'm gonna need a tissue or something, man. I need to call my therapist. The Easter bunny's not real? You're gonna tell me he's not real. Next thing you know, she's gonna tell me Santa Claus is not real.
No. Well, no.
If you have children watching, have them leave the room.
No, it's not about the bunny. But, you know, my birthday sometimes falls on Easter. So Easter is just unusual because it falls in different years and different times of the year.
Yeah.
Like sometimes it's March, sometimes at the beginning of April, sometimes at the end of April. And whenever my birthday would fall on Easter, I always asked for an Easter basket, even when I was like 24.
You got an Easter basket at 24. I can't even remember how old I was the last time I got one.
It was so
I used to get a little. Did your mom ever put toys in the Easter basket? Like a little toy? I would get like Hot Wheels cars or something like that.
I used to get like a stuffed bunny or something like that. But yeah.
I think one year my sister got roller skates and I was like, seriously?
And then when I turned like 16, my mom gave me a laundry basket for an Easter
with a bunch of that was a clue. Supplies. That was a clue. We had one person watching. Now we don't have anybody.
Yeah,
oh my goodness.
Like, what is going on?
That's okay. They'll come.
That's okay. So what is your favorite? I know Easter is not about the bunny, but what is your favorite Easter candy?
My favorite Easter candy?
Mm-hmm.
Oh man. I would have to say, well, okay. You know those Cadbury Easter eggs? They're chocolate with the caramel inside. Well, sometimes they got that weird cream. I don't like the cream. I like the caramel inside.
I don't like caramel.
I know you don't like caramel. She doesn't like caramel. Something's up with her. I don't know if she can be trusted. No, I like those. I would have to say jelly beans. What's yours?
It'd probably be the jelly beans more than anything. As long as it's not black jelly beans. Oh,
those are the best. Who doesn't like black licorice? Seriously.
Black licorice.
Hey, we got 2 people watching. Make yourselves known, man. Type in the comments. Let us know you're here. And you guys know whenever I go live, when I'm going to do an interview, I usually come on about 10, 15 minutes early. Give everybody a chance to see that I'm live and to join me and join us. And Les and Joyce will be joining us shortly, and we'll get things rolling, man. So we're talking about Easter, and Sunday should be called Sunday, Sonday, because Jesus Christ is the Son of God, as we know, right?
Absolutely.
And He on Good Friday, he was crucified.
Hi, is that Brian?
Hello, that's Bri. Hello,
Hi,
fart
Bri.
face.
Oh,
It
that's
says
nice.
that's his little nickname for him.
I know he's not talking to me.
I don't. Okay, all right. I'll behave myself. Anyway, yeah.
So Sunday,
Yeah,
absolutely.
Sunday, Jesus came, and
today being Good Friday, a lot of people are really sad because because of the crucifixion taking place today.
mhm.
But I have to say, Sunday is coming to that. So
Amen. I saw a video on YouTube today where they kept saying everything that happened, and then they said Sunday is coming. They ended everything with Sunday is coming.
But Sunday is coming.
And
absolutely.
and it's like it's just amazing. It really is. I mean, even some of his disciples, I mean, he tried telling them, "Hey, I will be back. I will be back." Like
Sunday is coming.
when he had told the Pharisees, when Jesus had said, destroy this temple, and in 3 days, I will raise it back up. Obviously, they didn't know what he was talking about.
Sure.
He was talking about his body,
his temple.
his temple. Absolutely.
Absolutely. Hi, Bri. Where are you? Where do you live again, Bri?
He's in Michigan.
He's in Michigan. That's right.
You met him.
We are Resolute, Bri?
Yes.
Oh, hi, Bri.
Yeah, we hung out with him and his drummer John Mockma and Brian Rainsberger. We all went.
Right, we did.
We went and had pizza.
Yeah, we did.
Even better than Arnold.
Even
better than I'm not getting. She hates when I do my Arnold voice, so I won't do it. Get to the chopper now. Yeah, there. That's all you get. That's it. She gives me that look like, don't ever do that again.
Oh my goodness.
Hello, war. We are resolute.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, they have something special planned at church on Sunday. I don't know what it is. All I know is I've been told that wait and see. It's going to be cool. Ed told me that Wednesday night.
Wait and see.
Wait and see.
It's gonna be cool.
Yep. All right. We got two loves. Good evening, both of you. Barry.
Oh, hi, Bri. Hi, Barry.
Barry Morrison, my brother Barry.
I wish I could say I could see you, but I can see your lovely avatars there. So.
Can you read that?
I can see the name.
You see the name. Okay, she can't read the comments. The TV is kind of a little far.
I'm totally blind, even with my glasses. So
blind as a bat.
I really am.
You're blind in one eye and can't see out the other.
Pretty much. What I was telling, hi, Will.
Oh my gosh. Evening, sir and madam.
Hello. As I was telling David earlier, I don't do live.
She calls me David. She doesn't call me Dave. Family calls me David.
I don't do live. This is my first live social media
thing.
Presence.
Dude, it took years just to get her to be on Facebook. Yeah. And it was funny when she finally set it up, her mom was even like, "It's about time."
Oh my goodness. So
hey, my sister Angela is on. Hi, bro and sis, love you. Dave, the Heavenly Realms CD is great. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Kevin Pike's Heavenly Realms. Hey, there's Les and Joyce Carlsen are here. We're going to go ahead and bring them on, and I will be right back.
He has to get up to let them in the door. We'll figure this out. Hello.
Hi. How are you?
Okay, I am well. How are you?
Good. Les is actually not feeling all that good. He's just getting up from a nap.
Oh, I'm a little jealous. I would love a nap. But I'm sorry to hear that he's not feeling well.
He's okay. He's okay. He will be in a sec, actually.
Okay.
I'm trying to see.
Les is a trooper. He's a trooper.
He's got sawdust in his veins. I don't know if you
David
ever
had a nap. David had a nap today too, so
did.
I was a little jealous of that as well. So,
Hi, Desiree.
hi.
Boy, you guys have kind of a nice situation there, all cash and your lounge chairs and.
Yeah. This is my man cave here.
Dave, we're gonna have to get you a Les Carlsen shirt.
Oh, I have a couple. I got the Jesus Freak shirt and Freak Show shirt, and I got the Wanted one. Yeah, I got both of those. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know why he's not sporting it. He should be.
You know, I'll go change before Les comes on. Talk to Joyce.
How have you been, Joyce?
I know that's probably petty, but and really I didn't expect him to change. I was just
Oh, he will though.
Yes. Oh, these are my green glasses. I forgot. When I wear my green glasses, can you see how the frame kind of disappears, and you get the see?
Oh,
They're gone.
interesting.
They're gone.
They're gone.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to get some different ones. So how are you, Desiree? Do you always do this with Dave, or is it just because we're a couple?
I do not. I was just telling the other peeps that were watching this is my first time live on social media. Like I will post occasionally, but I am not a social media person at all.
We're not live yet, are we?
We are.
We are.
But David said, he's like, hey, I'm interviewing Joyce and Les. And he's like, I'd really like you to join us. And we can do a couples interview. And I'm like, okay, I'm not.
There we go.
That's not me.
Much better. Yeah. We just did an interview with Ray Para and Tessa. Yeah, so it's kind of the couples thing is sort of a thing now. Hey, Lesky, can you do me? No, I need my glasses because these disappear.
Okay.
See, they're
if they disappear, you
gone.
Gone
Glasses.
All right. We just want to real quick welcome everybody that's here. Will, Bry, Craig, Barry, Margot.
The peeps. Hi.
Who?
The peeps. Yeah.
I saw some other people on the list, but I just can't read.
If I missed anybody, sorry, but hey, it's great to have everybody here, and it's great to have Joyce and Les here. Always a pleasure, and
Les will be joining soon.
He's just pulling up.
There
we go. All right. Now I have real glasses. Okay.
So David likes to wing interviews, and I'm not like that. So I have notes.
I girl.
Hey, Les, how are you, buddy?
I'm good.
Awesome.
Good, man.
Awesome.
We're actually live.
You're actually live. Who knew?
Yeah.
It's good to be live.
It's good to be live.
In the show. So, okay, so we're winging it.
Yeah.
With Desiree's.
With
I have a list.
And just so you know, I mean, Desiree has told me all week just how much she loves you guys, and she loves your testimony.
I do. I had the privilege of being at Noah's Ark? The Ark last year.
Yeah, the one
for BMI.
Yeah.
And you guys gave a little bit of your testimony there and like how you came to Jesus. But first, I want to know is what made you guys fall in love with music and performing? Because I know that you guys started performing before you guys were saved.
Well, how far back do you want to go?
Oh my God.
When did it start? 500-watt radio station in Fresno, California.
Right. Well, I don't know. I think there were early glimpses, this is sort of something that we don't really tell everybody, I guess, but the very first song that I ever sang was Unchained Melody.
Oh, wow.
In West Seattle when I was probably, I don't know, 5 maybe.
Little, yeah.
And I was just kind of, just sitting in a chair, and I remember singing to my dad and mom that I that song kind of moved me. And we had conversation about that. And she said, oh.
Yeah, one of my first songs ever sang. When I was little, I think it was about 7 or 8, my mother enrolled me in Mary Dawn's vocal studio. And and Mary would have this weekly show where she would have kids come and sing live in a radio station. And so you're singing live. And one of the first songs I sang was Unchained Melody. So
it was a sign.
My professional career started around 7 or 8.
I don't think my dad paid me. He fed me. That's good.
He fed you.
As much as you get for most gigs these days. No, just kidding. That'll be food for you guys. Oh, okay. No. So that was just initially, in other words, we were both into music, I guess. And then, now this is really going to date me, but I mean, I saw Elvis Presley on the Ed Sullivan Show, and there was this big thing about how they couldn't view him they couldn't do the cameras.
From the waist down,
yeah. It had to be from the waist up, so they could not view him from the waist down. I was like, okay, well, I just like Elvis. And then, and then I listened to a lot of music. I was one of those little guys that would come home after playing baseball, and I'd put on my transistor radio and I would listen to top 40.
That's dating.
Top 40 radio.
Transistor radio.
And I would listen until I fall asleep. And then when I was in junior high or whatever, 9th grade, 10th grade, I guess I'd just gotten into high school, and we were doing a paper on vocation. Like, what do you want to be when you grow up? And I was going, I don't know, and I was thinking, and then I saw the Beatles on Ed Sullivan, and that was it. I just went, that's what I want to do.
I want to do that.
And
there's on his website, there's a timeline, and it shows the very first band he was ever in when he was 16. Yeah. So it's kind of cool. If you go on Les Carlsen music.com, there's a timeline of all of his bands. It's pretty cool.
Oh wow, that's so cool.
Yeah.
LesCarlsenmusic.com, guys.
Carlsen with an E, please.
Carlsen with an E, S-E-N, yes.
Yeah, so that was a good question.
Yeah.
And I wish I could have made it more entertaining, but
I better be careful if she's going to take over my show.
Oh, well, that's okay.
No, I'm not. I promise I'm not. How'd you all meet? I think I remember the story from the Ark when you guys were giving your testimony, but can you tell our viewers a little bit of how you guys met?
Yeah, we were in Kalamazoo, Michigan at the Schwarzwald House.
The what? Schwartz's Chalet.
Schwartz's Chalet, yes. We were in Hair.
The Broadway musical Hair.
I was in the Boston production.
She loves that Hair.
And I was in Seattle, and then Seattle got moved to Miami, so I was in the Miami cast of Hair. And then they decided to do the first bus and truck tour of Hair throughout the United States, and they wanted to cast people that never got sick and that were always ready to go to work. And I didn't know her at all, but we ended up in a show in Kalamazoo, Michigan, on a university or something.
Yeah, that's where we rehearsed,
and
the new show.
And then I saw her standing there, and she looked at me,
and I could see.
Yeah.
Well, I saw him standing there by the record machine.
Yeah. So anyway, so that's when we met, and then we kind of.
It took a while. I mean,
course
a
of
few
events,
months. We were, and like you said, a bus and truck. It was like a cast of maybe 35, 40 of us on a bus, and we were on that bus every day, 6 days a week, sometimes 7. And
8 shows a week.
Yeah, 8 shows a week for 2 years.
2 years.
So we spent a lot of time together,
And I played Claude, and she played Chrissy.
Nice. Was it love at first sight?
For me, it was.
Yeah, Yeah, I had a
But stop one day, she's there, I say.
yeah, yeah. I mean, there's a lot of
How deep you want to go?
yeah. We don't want to go that deep.
What is this show rated?
What's that?
What he's asked, what
This
is the
show
show
rated?
rating?
C.
What is this show rating?
C for
We have
Christian.
9 people right now. We need more people.
Oh.
Well, people will see this again after, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, so everybody right now, all 9 of you, just get on your little phones
And
text your
everybody.
friends and tell them to come and join the Covenant Metal Show.
Yeah.
Yes, please share. Please share.
Yeah. So
What do you
that's
want to know next, honey?
What do I want to know?
You're going to get your turn too, Dave, right?
What's that?
You're going to get your turn too, right?
Maybe.
Sorry.
it's okay.
You lost your place, didn't you?
Did. So how long were you guys together? So I know you guys started performing in a club, basically. I'm going to just summarize. You're performing in a club for a while. How long before you guys came to know Jesus at that point? Because you guys were not saved at that point.
About 10 years.
Yeah, we were in clubs. We started about 72, I think, and we got saved in 84.
Yeah.
Because we got saved. Actually, it was Palm Sunday. The one just went. It was
So
Palm,
this is 40 years since we've been saved.
yeah. So it was Palm Sunday in 1984, because we were married in 1974. So it was 10 years of being married. And then after we got saved, we got baptized on our 10th wedding anniversary.
Oh, that's cool.
Came up out of the water and we got married.
Yeah, we got baptized and then renewed our vows.
Oh, that's so cool.
That's awesome.
Wow.
Kind of messed it up. You know,
we renewed our vows October of last year. We've been married 20 years. Yeah.
We got 50 coming up in June.
I know,
oh, nice.
Amazing.
Very cool.
Can you tell us about how you came to the Lord? Because I loved this story when you guys told us shared this last year. Can you share that with our audience today?
Yeah. Well, when we were in the clubs, we were really popular. We did a show that was very fun to watch. It was during that period where everybody was going to nightclubs and dancing, and sort of the disco era, rock disco era. And we did this amazing club act, and we were so theatrical from our experience in hair. And we did a lot of choreography and dancing together. Kenny Ortega choreographed some of the things that we did because he was in hair with us. And anyway, so we were really popular. And we would just pack this club that we were the house band in. And we had a keyboard player that left, and we had to hire somebody else. And we knew all the musicians in Seattle pretty much. And this one guy came in to audition, and he looked amazing. He played guitar, he played keys, he had all new gear. He was super prepared and just a wonderful human being. And he knew all of our material during the audition. And so we said, yeah, okay, so he's in. And we'd never heard of him, which is strange because we were like in the center of what was going on up there in the Northwest, and we'd never heard of him.
Yeah.
And but anyway, he was like, there was something about him that I thought, wow. I mean, I know that we're cool, but this guy seems to be he's kind of cool. There's something about him that's really magnetic. And so I went to him and I said, hey, Don, what's with you? This is before I was saved, you know. And he goes, what do you mean? I said, well, I mean, what is it about you there's something different about you? I'm just asking. And he said, well, I have a relationship with Jesus Christ. And oh my God, when he said that, my spirit inside of me was like, boom, you know, stay away. Kind of. It was almost like I did the Michael Jackson moonwalk back 10 feet, you know. Well, yeah. And so when I reacted that way, then I went away, and then I started thinking, now, okay, why would I do that? I mean, why did that happen? And I thought, well, maybe Jesus is real. I mean, I had a major reaction to him, and there was a big contrast. So then I, through the course of events, asked him to share a little bit more, and he gave me a book called More Than a Carpenter. So I started reading that, and then I'm going to just tell it up to a point, and I'm going to turn it over to her. And I started reading it, and I started falling in love with Jesus on my own. And I was going, what am I going to do? Such a dilemma. I can't tell Joyce that I'm going to become a Christian. I mean, that would be the dumbest move I could make. I mean, we're rock stars up here. This is going to ruin everything. I got to, but my love for him was just so strong. I was just pulled so hard. And I was hiding the book from her. I didn't want her to see that I was reading it in my memory. Now, she may have seen it around or whatever, but in my heart, I was thinking, I don't want her to know, because I don't know how to tell her. So, hand off.
Yeah. So, I mean, I did the same thing. I went to Don and said, hey, dude, you're kind of different. And he explained that he was a Christian. And I said, yeah, me too, because I was brought up Catholic. We were on this long road trip, and Don and I were in the same car. And I said, yeah, I'm a Christian. So I believe in God. And he started talking about Jesus in a way that, I mean, I had heard of Jesus. I was a Catholic most of my life until we turned heathen to the max. And I said, well, I never heard anybody talk about Jesus the way that you're talking about him. It's almost like you know him intimately. And so my curiosity was aroused too. And so I saw the book, and I picked up the book and read the book, and I didn't even really know that he was reading it. It was always like there. And I started to have a heart change. I mean, I was convinced that, wait, this Jesus guy, there's a lot more to it than I ever knew. And we need to explore this. I need to find out, more about it. So anyway, I went to him, or he went to me. I don't remember exactly. It's kind of like the Gospels, they all tell the story just with
the same story, but
yeah. It's slightly different, right?
Yeah.
Different, but we came together and said, okay, this book has changed my heart. I feel like I know now that Jesus was God, and he walked here on the earth, and he said and did things, and we'd be foolish not to want to explore what it was he did and said, and what to get to know him and all that. And I said, yeah, knowing that means that we're never going to be the same. But I don't know what that means, and I don't know what we're supposed to do now. So we went to Don and told him what was happening. And he said, just, pour out your heart. Tell Jesus you want him to take the wheel. You want him to take control of your life, that you messed up, you're sorry, and that you understand that he can forgive you. And so anyway, we did that.
We went into our bedroom. And we went in there together.
Got down on our knees. And immediately started bawling like babies.
And both of us, we just kind of, in our own way, together,
poured out.
Went to Jesus and asked him to be Lord.
I remember just weeping at what a mess we'd made of our lives and our marriage. I mean, we wouldn't be together if it wasn't for Jesus. We were just really messed up, individually and as a couple. And it was just, gosh, And then it was like we said, you know, Jesus, take over, give you permission to do whatever you want, because we're screwing it up. So can you take the lead and just tell us what to do? And just, you know, and something happened to both of us at the same time, to where it was like just all of a sudden this,
the presence of God just filled the room with us and
and
with himself. And we were like,
oh, that's so awesome.
I mean, it literally felt like there was just this weight lifted.
Oh yeah.
Like this big eraser came and went, okay, you're clean.
And we were weeping.
And we looked
like
at
babies.
each other, and I looked at him, and I just fell madly in love with him again. And we both saw Jesus in each other, and we said, okay, this is different. And then we were like laughing like idiots, like giggling, and I mean, it was, we went to the club the next, because we
call that the Holy Spirit giggles.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So we went the next day. I went and bought Bibles. I went to the Christian bookstore. I bought one Bible for her and one Bible for me. And they were those hardback, you know, thick Bibles, NIVs. Anyway, so I brought her one and I had one. And
we started reading in the New Testament.
We just started reading.
Yeah.
You know, and Don told us to read John. We just started reading.
Yep.
And that's all we did at that point. Then we just started reading.
Nonstop.
I mean, we'd get up in the morning, which was around 1 o'clock, because we'd work all night in the club. And then we would just read all the way up until it was time to go back to the club again.
And then we'd take our Bibles and
read on the breaks.
We'd sit instead of doing
cocaine and
lines of coke,
we were doing lines of Galatians.
Yeah. Yeah. I want to give a little bit of a backstory, because it really ties in and it adds a special interest, and it sort of ties in with Bloodgood too. Is he mentioned that we were a house band at a club called Meeker's Landing, and we were really popular. I mean, we built this following that was just phenomenal. And the people who owned the club became Christians. And then it was a dilemma for them, because we're Christians now and we own a nightclub. And we were there night after night after night. That was the house band. So for like over a year and a half, they started praying for us to get saved. And Linda the McNallys, Linda would bring me books to read. She brought me a tape called Bye Bye something about backmasking, and books about, you know, the evils of rock and roll music and all this stuff. And of course I'm like, oh gosh, you know. But when we got saved, and we got saved about 2 or 3 weeks before Palm Sunday, but on the day before, we said, Linda and Bill, we want to come to church with you. And so they're all excited, you know, finally we've been praying for them and they want to come to church. But we had already confessed Christ. We had already read the New Testament
to each other.
Yeah. And we went to church, and they must have told the pastor we were going to be there, and they'd been praying for us, because the pastor did the altar call, the every eye closed, every head
nobody
looking around, you know. We stood up and said, hey,
we just want to publicly proclaim,
hey, we love Jesus.
Because you don't take a light and put it under a table. We want to tell you and everybody that Jesus is our Lord.
So anyway,
wait a minute. You haven't even spoken in tongues yet. And
you're not following
the elders
rules.
didn't talk to you. And what?
Yeah. Wait a minute.
They were lovely. They were absolutely, but they were blown away. Because we had already been reading.
And that's kind of how radically saved we got. But back to the backmasking and the tapes and all that. When we got saved, all of a sudden our eyes were opened to the reality of Satan. Because, I mean, nobody thinks the devil exists, you know. I mean, seriously. And our son
he fought hard for us.
Our son was 18, and he had a record collection. And his CDs, and he had vinyl, and we never thought twice about it. And then when we went in and started looking through his record collection, and the covers,
it was all heavy metal,
were horrific. I mean, Exciter, this poor girl with blood dripping and trying to hold the door, and the guy with his knife through the thing, like an S&M kind of thing. And Wasp, IF, like a beast. Picture
with
him
a buzzsaw
from his waist shot with a buzzsaw on his area there.
Yeah, we can't speak.
Yeah, this is not R-rated.
But yeah, so you get the point.
All of a sudden, our eyes are open, like, oh my gosh, this is crazy. The devil has infiltrated the youth through this music.
Right.
So because of our son, he got this call. We told our son, this isn't good for you. We don't want this in the house, He said, what am I supposed to listen to? Sandy Patty? So
that's a fair question for somebody who likes metal, right?
At the time, we'd never even heard of Striper. The hardest things were Petra and Rez. And in their early days, they weren't exactly metal. So anyway, he felt this call now that I feel like I should make music that my son and his friends would like, but with a positive message. And, at the same time, God's over here talking to Michael, and that whole thing is happening.
Right.
But anyway, that's another story. So that happened.
How long before you guys actually established Bloodgood with Michael and stuff? Since you're Lady Met.
Go ahead.
Mm-hmm.
She's just about there.
Yeah. And so Les tried to get a few bands together. It didn't happen. And Michael had put an ad out in the paper, and usually he tells his story, but it said, looking for white metal singer well rooted in the word. And I read that. We're only a few months in the Lord, but we were diving into the Bible, and we were radically saved. And so he answered the call, and it didn't work out the first time. There was just didn't feel right. But Les could not get Michael off of his mind. God kept putting him. And so they ended up getting together and meeting with the other guys. And that's a whole other story that you have to watch. Trenches of Rock.
Yeah, watch Trenches.
Yes. That's the documentary, right?
Yeah. But
David just ran over to grab it. We have it.
Yeah. But when they're going to show it at Immortal this year.
Oh, that's amazing. That's awesome.
Yeah. It's going to be really cool that they're showing it.
Yeah.
And Paul Michael Bloodgood directed and produced it, Michael's son. So it's just super cool.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Legacy lives on,
Yeah.
Awesome.
But I do want to say something back about, I'm looking right now at the Detonation cover, which is hanging on our wall up there. There's a story behind that I don't know if everybody knows, and it has to do with this being aware that the devil had infiltrated this whole music scene. That that rock demon, that's the enemy, and he's a fortress. It's the rock fortress. The guy's got a guitar, and you can see the knobs of the amps, and on the backside, Trenches of Rock. There's the story of Bloodgood, and that's told much better.
Excellent. This has got to be one of the best documentaries I've ever seen, and she hasn't seen it. So later tonight, I think I'm going to put it in, and we're going to watch it.
Get some popcorn.
Yeah, that's good.
So on the back.
Anyway, then on the back of Detonation, it's the four guys running out of the fortress with an explosion behind them. It's like purposely meant that, no, devil, you cannot have this music. We're blowing up your realm, and we're taking over for the kingdom. And that's kind of the backstory to Detonation.
Nice.
Wow.
Can I ask another question?
Yeah.
Okay. So you guys,
it's the Desiree show.
It is the Desiree. So Bloodgood put out 7 albums, if I read that correctly. David owns them all. What is your favorite song? If you can pick a favorite song on out of the albums or your favorite album that you put out? Because I'm sure there's different songs that mean different things at different times in your life that take you back, but to that moment. But which album stands out the most to you?
Okay, so I suppose I have favorites, but I have to just say this because it's true. Every song is like a child to us.
Yes.
And we were called to preach the gospel through music. We weren't trying to be rock stars. We really were called to do it. And so it was such a calling that we didn't really think in terms of favors, but we were blown away by how, when we released Bloodgood, the reaction was way over the top. And then Detonation was even more way over the top. And then, it was just like, wow, wait a minute. They love this. So this is working for us. So I have more than one favorite there, and they all have different reasons,
Mm-hmm.
But I think that my contribution as a writer, I would have to say that combination of Crucifying Messiah was something that I felt God gave me, and it really hit home. And it was so useful within the metal genre, that we did it every show. We still do it to this day in my solo shows. And it's because this is the time of year that we're celebrating the crucifixion and resurrection of Jesus. Happens every year, and it's
what
impactful.
Christianity hinges on.
Yeah. So, yeah. So that would be, I'm so glad that we had that in the repertoire. And then to go on, there was so many other songs that were fabulous.
I like All Stand Together, which is probably the least known of all of the Bloodgood catalog, but it had more lush vocals, and neither of us were metalheads until we felt the call to be, and he was. But I've kind of always been in the little bit more, I don't know what mode you'd call it, dance pop commercial. But All Stand Together, I think showed a side of Les that was much more sensitive. He explored his lower range, and I like that one. Oh, interesting. For those of you who know about Chris, Chris Jericho has kind of made his way into our lives. He has a podcast called Talk is Jericho, and he did an album clash with Rock and a Hard Place and Out of the Darkness, comparing them track by track.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Even the album covers. And he had Les on, and along with that, he had Brian Head Welch and come on, Howard Jones from Killswitch Engage. And
wow.
And they,
I didn't get to meet Howard that year. And I think it was in 22. Yeah, 22. But I did. I was backstage for a little while, and Chris Jericho walked right past me. I called out his name, and I didn't want to bother him. I was like, "Hey, man, can I get a quick picture with you?" And he was totally cool about it. Yeah, really nice guy.
So it turns out that Howard and Chris really were Bloodgood fans, and then Brian kind of became a Bloodgood fan after we met. He started listening. He saw the movie.
Yeah.
And then
But that podcast is interesting because of the actual play-by-play of the songs. So if anybody,
right after you see this podcast, look that one up.
Yeah,
there you go.
That's right.
Absolutely. Now, she had asked, like, what your favorite Bloodgood album is,
right,
and song. And now, as far as performing, do you have like a favorite song that you just has to be in the set? Now, I know at every Immortal Fest, I've seen you twice now, in your solo Les Carlsen band, and so of course you play you do tracks from the album, and but throughout your career, has there been a song that you're like, man, I can't wait to play this, do this one on stage, or this one has to be in the set?
Well, I think Crucify and Messiah.
Yeah, I mean,
much has to be there. But
yeah, Messiah. The thing about Messiah is that people worship.
Yeah.
You know, it's just a whole different.
So
thing.
we are going to do this next show coming up. We're going to do a couple more Blood Good songs that we haven't done for
awesome.
a while. And
I first came across.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say, I first came across Blood Good. Now I was saved in the fall of 2001, so I came to the game, a little late, and I missed all the good stuff from the 80s. But I'd say about 4 years after I got saved, I was starting to get into Christian heavy metal and getting out of the secular stuff. And I still listen to a little bit of secular, but maybe 2 or 3 bands. That's it. But I was in a Bible bookstore. They had a music section, and surprisingly, they had a Christian metal section. And it was some kind of a compilation CD. I picked it up, and the song on there was Out of the Darkness. And I think there was another one on there, What's Following the Grave.
Yeah.
And I was like, who are these guys? I'm like, wow, and just blew me away. I mean, it had a lot of great stuff on there. And like she said, I'm a big Blood Good fan. And, you have some good questions. I'm sitting here trying to think, what do I ask now? Because see, like I've had Les on the show before, so and met him in person. So there's a lot that I know. But one thing that I just thought of is I think it was at Immortal Fest 2022. A good friend of mine, Brian Rainsberger, he brought you a Snickers bar.
Yeah.
And I don't remember the story behind that, but there's a story behind why he brought you a Snickers bar.
Watch the movie.
Okay.
Watch the
yeah,
documentary.
that's right. It's in the movie. It's been a while since I've seen the movie.
It's
right.
in the movie, and that's that's kind of in the early days. There was just no money left for the band. So, but since we were in the band, I mean, the roadies got paid, the truck, the sound guys got paid, everybody got paid except for the band. And, but we demanded that we each would get a Snickers bar at the end of
or at least enough money to buy a Snickers
maybe
bar.
a couple bucks.
Yeah.
And
they say it satisfies. Did it satisfy?
I wasn't grouchy, but I was in a better mood. I had it.
It's better than bologna, right?
Oh, way better. Yeah.
Oh man, we ate so much French bread pizza and peanut butter and jelly sandwiches.
Lasagna.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I mean, but when we had to cook for ourselves, it was a budget deal. That's a whole other story.
I remember being out there, and I mean, basically just kind of pretty hungry. Yeah. And the sound man went and had dinner at Red Lobster, and we waited for him out in the van.
Oh no, Brian Rainsberger just commented. He says he has a king size Snickers bar ready for you, Les.
Thank you, Brian. I love you, dude.
Yeah.
Brian, you know what you should do is go to one of those like candy stores. I've seen them. They have like it's a yard long. It's like a 3-foot long Snickers bar. That would be hilarious. That would be hilarious.
Well, don't make it in the summer.
That's all. You would have to share with everybody at the.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, and then there's in the movie there's also a thing about the beat, and the beat's this long. And so when we did in Federal Way, we did a Blood Good
show.
Yeah, it was
before the movie.
Yeah, but it was an event, and we had VIPs. And as a gift to the VIPs, one of the things in their package was a ruler that said the beat is this long and a Snickers bar. And we just got a framed thing.
Should I open it on here?
No, we'll do it. George, George, right?
Oh, yeah.
George.
Yeah, he's awesome. I love that guy.
He sent us a frame. I think he single-handedly supports all the bands with his just collectibles. But he sent us a frame with the Snickers bar and the
and the
and
yeah,
It was funny last summer during Immortal Fest because we happened to stay at the same hotel. I came in one morning and he was there in the lobby. They had it done, a section of the lobby. It looked like a nice living room with a fireplace and the chairs and all that. Well, he looked like a little kid on Christmas morning. He had his totes sitting there. He had all these vinyl albums spread out on the floor and he's like organizing them. And I told him that. I said, "You look like a little kid on Christmas morning, And I don't think there's an album he does not have.
Yeah, he's an awesome guy.
Yeah. Hey, I have a question for us.
What?
Are you working on any new music?
Oh yeah, we are. As a matter of fact,
I heard something through the grapevine, Joyce, and I'm not gonna I'm not gonna let the cat out of the bag, but maybe you might let us know. There's a certain style of singing that you're wanting to do. Is that true?
Oh,
now we're gonna have to do that. Okay.
Now you have to.
I'm not sure. I was thinking about it, but
Okay.
the Magdalene Rose, the Cookie Monster, that kind of metal core kind of sound.
Yeah.
I was thinking of exploring that, and I don't know. It's not totally off the, but
that would be awesome.
It might happen.
Well, the song has to be appropriate. So far we haven't had a song that would call for it. However, I'm exploring more the depth, because I've always sung high. I'm exploring the depths of my voice.
She sings
just singing
pretty low.
lower and
She
deep
sings
and
low.
Swing low, swing chariot.
Close.
But yeah, we actually just before this, which is why I was a little late, is we're working on a song with David Zafiro, actually.
Yeah.
David is and Les started this song back in 2000, about 10 years ago.
Or 2009.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was just
So
after our son passed away.
Yeah. And it's very interesting. And a little hint, it's like Jeff's voice when he was like 6 years old, singing with Les. And it's a very poignant song. It kind of and we're working on it, hoping that we can release it as a single, maybe around Father's Day.
I'm gonna do a duet with my son.
Oh man,
that's amazing.
Awesome. That is. Oh wow.
I will probably cry. I'll probably cry. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Yeah, it will probably do that, but it's just a cool song too. So anyway,
for the first time earlier, she heard The River from your solo album.
Okay.
River, yeah.
River, yeah.
I really like that song a lot.
Yeah. Have you seen the video? You seen the video?
I saw the video. Yes, I saw
my buddy
video.
CG Reich. He did that video for y'all. Yeah.
Yeah, that's River, our granddaughter.
Yeah, CG's amazing.
I love CG. I'm so glad he's kind of in the Immortal family now. Yeah.
Oh yeah, and I mean, gosh, I wouldn't miss Immortal for the world. Seriously. And I'm glad that there's a festival here in Springfield, Missouri that we do like to go to. We didn't go last year because it was the same weekend as Immortal, and it's like, well, I'm not passing up on Immortal, that's my family reunion right there,
Yeah, we got to have you there.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're excited to see you guys again. And now you're playing at part 2 this year, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. But will you be hanging out at part 1, or are you just going to be there for part 2?
No, I won't be there for part 1. No.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
But we will be there. We're going to be there throughout the weekend.
We'd love to, because there's some bands there that even last year, there were some bands that we would have loved to have hung out with and seen. But we have duties at home.
Yeah.
My almost 99-year-old mother lives with us.
99. Wow.
Yeah, and she's awesome, and we take care of her. So that's why we don't tour a whole bunch.
Yeah, it's not as easy to get away,
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's difficult. So we have to pick and choose. We have to make it count. So we just go away when we're gonna play or do something. We did the Chris Jericho cruise in January.
Oh,
And so, we were gone for that. And
didn't you do a Christmas play or musical not that long ago, Les?
Oh, it was that was several years ago.
What?
I played Scrooge.
Oh, okay. I thought there was
and then I
something
did
like
St. John in Exile, which was a one-man show with about 80 minutes of
it's a monologue.
monologue.
An 80-minute.
Oh, okay. That might be what I'm thinking then. Yeah.
CG's actually working on that. He's spiffing it up so that it's more presentable. I mean, it's great, but there's just a few issues here and there, taking exit signs out and stuff.
And I love seeing like the old Bloodgood like concert footage and stuff like that. Like, I mean, not only were you singing the songs, but you were like, you had the theatrics acting it out and everything, like during, Out of the Darkness, you had the fog on the stage and it was like you were fighting off these demons and stuff like that. And that is awesome. I mean, it's cool to see that, because then it's like, not only is someone watching, a rock band, but they're actually getting a visual of the message.
Yeah.
And that's really cool.
Yeah, that's
really,
the
really
power
cool.
of theatrics, which Bloodgood is pretty well known for.
Yep.
Yeah.
Actually, Les, Les is going to be in a movie. He's got a little character role
I
in
auditioned.
a feature film. That's
Really?
Yeah. So sometime
man,
he's going to go to Virginia and
so you got some lines in the movie and all that too.
Yeah.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's one scene, but it's cool. He's going to nail it.
It's a speaking part, and it'll be during that scene there won't be anything else going on but me and this young boy who's trying to find his father who fell off a cliff out in the Appalachian Mountains.
Oh, wow.
It's a Christian-based film. The director called me up and asked me to audition for it, and so I did and sent it in, and I got the part.
Yeah, we first met Nathan Todd Sims. We first met him when we did the Kickstarter for our first album. He contributed a decent amount, had a Zoom with Les, and they struck up a relationship, and so this kind of came out of that.
Yeah,
it's kind of cool.
Very cool. Do you have any other questions, dear?
I do. Joyce, I'm so excited to see you in the Les Carlsen project, right? The band, because you have been off stage and you've been behind the scenes for so long. So it's so nice to see you on stage again. What does that mean to you to be able to get back into performing and stuff?
I can't even express how grateful I am that I get this opportunity again. I really am, and I'm thankful for Les to pull me in and include me, because we were on stage together for 10 years, 11 years, 12 years, and then as soon as Bloodgood hit, then I was behind the scenes. I mean, I wrote some songs for the band, and I sang.
She wrote Anguish and Pain.
And
I did not know that. That's amazing.
And I would run lights and sing harmony, as I'm running lights from the back. So yeah, and on All Stand Together, I did a lot of the backup singing there, and I was in the show, the theatrical production. I'm the one who killed herself at the end of Alone in Suicide. So I've been kind of on the fringes, but it was mostly everything I did was more support and administrative and technical and that kind of thing. But I'm creative, and I love to create, and I love to sing, and I love being with him on stage because there's just a chemistry. We just have fun.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I'm very excited, Desiree. Thank you for and I got to say, metal, Christian or not, has been a male domain for a lot of years. I mean, there's a lot of great female, hard singers now, and that's really cool. So I'm glad that she's a part. I get to be there. I get to play.
And I love her headbanging in Judas is Dead. I mean, it's just like, okay.
Now, are you guys experimenting with different like genres? I know that you guys are technically metal, but are you guys going back to like any of your roots a little bit? You know, the musical, the power, not the power core, but
Yeah.
the jazzy sounds. You know, just the different sounds that I mean, music's evolved right over the years, and you guys have experienced so many different genres of music. Are you guys experimenting with that in your new?
Yeah.
I would say yes.
Yeah.
But always keeping in mind we know our audience base, and there's always going to be that edge and tinge. But heavy is not always the big guitar with the Marshall. Sometimes heavy is the content.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Or makes you think deeply about what's being said. So heavy can be different things, but because we're working together more on this one, we want to hit some new levels, and we're not afraid to do things. At this point in my life, not that I've earned anything, but I think I should take the opportunity to do my art and not just design it to be a sort of a style that I've been doing for years, but incorporate that style and take it to another level. So for me, and if people love it, then that's great. I think when we did Rock in a Hard Place, it was such a diversion from what we had done. But years later, I've had so many people come to me and say, you know what, that's my favorite Bloodgood album. And it was because we said, okay, we've done 2 hardcore metal albums and we're more than that. And so we did Rock in a Hard Place, and man, it just was amazing. And then we came back, because David left, and we did Out of the Darkness, which was right back in that genre because it was the smart thing to do. And Michael and I were on our own at that point. So we just started, putting songs like that together. But then Paul Jackson, who had been around us and written with me and stuff, he played guitar on that album and he nailed it. And so he became our guitar player, and we love him so much. He's so talented, and he brought this style that really was paramount important in everything from Out of the Darkness. Oh, hold on.
My mom.
No worries.
We're doing a podcast.
I'm gonna run away for a second.
All right.
All right, I'll be right back.
Okay. Oh, well. So how you doing, Dave? Hey, do we still have people, or we lose them? It's been a little.
We got 11 people still here.
Okay.
Yeah, I was gonna say that I really love the solo album. I have it on vinyl and CD, and Les was kind enough last year to sign those for me. And so you guys are already starting to write for the next album then, right?
Yeah. We have several songs in the works, and we'll probably write way more material than we need, but it's like you put it all out there and then you live with it for a while in demo form. We just have this little studio in our bedroom, and Les and I are not really musicians. I'm not really, but I engineer and run the DAW, and he plays guitar, and we do loops and stuff, and we use the drummer from Logic just to get a demo, and then we play it for people, and based on their response, we decide either where we're going to develop it further, or maybe we'll let that one rest for a while and we'll, work on something else. So we probably have easily 15, 20 songs in various stages of development. They might not all make it on the record, probably. I guarantee you they won't, but it's shaping, as we write, and we're trying now to write from experiences that happen, as opposed to just getting a cool idea. Oh, that's kind of a cool look. Things that affect you deeply. They have a way of just leaking out, and if you're a musician, they leak out through song. and that's kind of what's been happening. Everything.
That was, it was Mama. Mama is 99 and she is amazing and wonderful. And there was some boys playing out in the front and she thought that some man was banging on the window. And they were just probably playing out there. And then.
Probably.
And so she has that dementia sometimes.
I know. I just want to say real quick, there's been tons and tons of comments, and I know I haven't gotten to all of them, and I do apologize, everybody. But this has been, a great interview. And I did see one question pop up here from Corey Johnson. This question is for Joyce, and he's wondering if you have thought of putting out your own album, like a solo album.
Yeah, I've been thinking about that for 30 years. Yeah. Maybe eventually. And if I did, I guarantee you it would probably not be hardcore metal. It would scan the gamut. We're in our 70s. And so when we think,
what?
I know we are. So
I thought y'all were like in your 20s. I mean, come on.
Inside we are. Inside. But he's 75 and I'm going to be 75 this June.
Yeah.
So we have a very deep well of musical influence. I mean, way back before when we first started listening to music, there was rock and roll. There was country western, there was blues, jazz, and classical.
And rhythm and blues.
Yeah, rhythm and blues and rhythm.
Yeah.
That's it. And then
it's crazy now. There's subgenres and it's just
And it's fine.
Oh, and pop.
Those are our roots. And I mean, when we were in Hair, we listened to Marvin Gaye. What's going on? We probably heard
a lot of people don't know this, but I love Motown.
Yeah. There's a heavy Motown influence in both of us that we haven't really gotten to explore. Things are just going to kind of meld together, and rather than being stuck in a direction and saying, well, it doesn't sound, we've got to do this. Things are going to start to branch out. Yeah.
And I think that we're going to take a different approach. When I was a young man and you were a young woman, the music industry was totally dominated by singles. Back in the 50s, they were singles. Albums did not exist until you had so many hit singles that somebody thought, you know what, we should put them all on one big disc and it will be called an album. And so then people started going, oh, wow. And so they would buy albums. And then groups got into albums and they made these albums become listening experiences because they knew they weren't just doing singles. They were doing concepts together and they created these albums. So when we were in our early 20s, the thing that we did was when there was a new album, for example, a new Beatle album come out or Steppenwolf or Led Zeppelin, everybody would get together at a house with whoever had the best PA system, and we would put the album on and listen to the whole album. Now, the rules were
nobody
talks. We're not interested in what you have to say. We all lay there and listen to the album. And when it's done, then we can talk about the album. Mm-hmm. And I don't know why people don't do that because it's a blast.
Yeah.
But people aren't making albums like that. So we're going to do singles, but we also may find within the singles, we want to do more music this year and release more singles. I do. But if we see a theme in it, we would put them in an order that it became something on that album so that you would enjoy it the way you did Detonation, the way that worked. And, the way that the Beatles did Sgt. Pepper or whatever, that kind of thing. So there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
I love that. People don't have the attention span to listen to an entire album anymore. Not with social media and these quick YouTube videos.
I know. I'm surprised we still got 11 people watching.
They have to make an event. they have to make it an event. It's to me, it's like, okay, how many
listening parties?
Yeah, you're going to go out for dinner tonight. You're going to go to a movie. You're going to go to a ball game. You're going to do that's great. How about if we do a listening party? We haven't heard the new Disciple album. Let's all listen to it together. You know, I mean, let's get together, make some food, hang out, and listen. You know, I mean, artists really appreciate that when people listen to their works.
Oh yeah, I mean, I still get excited when an artist or a band puts something new out. You know, like Friday, the new White Cross album came out. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Good
Super
stuff.
excited. Amazing album. Absolutely.
Yeah.
You look like you have more questions, don't you?
I do. But...
Okay, well, let's shift. we got that off our chest.
I know. So Joyce, you didn't even know you answered one of my questions, but I had a question about like your inspiration for songs, like if it comes musically first or it's lyrics, and you totally answered that before I could even ask. So thank you for knowing my thought process. I really appreciate that. I actually was very interested. You guys have been Christians for a long time now. What is your life verse? Do you have a life verse or like one specific one that you just
our life verse?
Back. Yeah.
Well, mine is Psalm 42.
Ooh.
As the deer pants for water, so my soul longeth after thee.
I actually just sent that to a friend today. That's very, very cool that you just said that. I love that.
It's like
it'll shift. I have a few different ones that speak to me at different times.
Well, that's all I have is that one verse.
Just the one. That's okay.
The only one you memorized, right?
Yeah, right. You're the one that asked. So that is the one that I mean, that is, to me, that's foundational. It's like, love God with all your heart, soul, strength, and mind, and your neighbor as yourself. So, yeah, I'm a guy. I'm just simplistic. I'm going for it.
Simplistic. David has one too. So I totally get it. David.
Mine's Philippians 4:13. I can do all things through Christ who gives me strength.
Yeah, that's awesome.
What's yours?
Mine's actually out of James, and it's about deeds without faith, like works without faith is nothing, and then faith without works is nothing. So it has to be a combination of those two. I know that is not the actual scripture.
That's the Cliff Notes version.
That's the Cliff Notes version of my mantra. Yes. Yeah, Joyce, I know you're thinking, you're like, what is it today?
Through her.
Yeah. I Philippians verse. Whatever is good, whatever is true, whatever is faithful, whatever's right. I never get the order right. But basically, dwelling on those things that give life as opposed to getting into worry and stinking thinking and that sort of thing. I like that one. And then there's a proverb, and I am terrible about memorizing scripture. I can look through and find all the yellow, where I've highlighted everything, but
I think living it is the most important part.
Yeah. There's
there's
a proverb about, and I will paraphrase about, don't make me so rich that I forget about you, because but don't make me so poor that I am tempted to steal and do. So I just ask the Lord to just take care of our needs and help me to be content where I am. I don't want to be, if wealth is going to turn my attention away from him, I don't want it. And if poverty is going to keep me obsessed with, I got to make money or I don't want that either. Then I don't want that either. I just want a nice. Yeah. So, I mean, that's one thing. And then, in Psalm 103, there's a section that talks about him being slow to anger and compassionate, and our sins are as far as the east is from the west, and his thoughts are much higher than our thoughts. That really hit home to me when we first got saved. That was like, that's my rock to hang on to. That's
absolutely. Yeah. I have one last thing. What would your advice be to Oops, that is my alarm. What would your advice be to couples about keeping God first in your marriage and keeping each other's needs forefront but not losing yourself? What would you guys have been married a really long time, and us newlyweds only 20 years, so what is your advice for those newlywed couples or those couples that are going through some sort of change about keeping God first and keeping each other's needs forefront, but not losing yourself in the process?
Well, when we got married, we were not Christians, but we did make a promise. We made a statement before God and people, and that we were going to be together until death do us part. And thank God she didn't kill me, and I'm still here. And
I don't know how many times she's wanted to.
I think you have to honor your commitment, number one, and especially for Christians. I mean, it's a no-brainer. Your commitment has got to be absolutely a commitment. And if you do that, and if you work through everything and you make your spouse more important than yourself, you'll get through really well, and God will bless it. And it seems as if after 50 years that we are more in love now than ever. We are able to just say anything to each other. Anything that we've never been able to say has been said. And we just continue down that road knowing that we're secure in who we are in Jesus. And our marriage, it was a commitment that we made before God, and that's it.
Yeah. So separation and divorce are just not an option. No matter how bad it gets, that's just not an option. So you have to work it out because there's no retreat. And so whatever it takes to work it out, and goodness knows, you take everything to the Lord, because he's the fixer, he's the healer. And so keeping Jesus as the glue between us has been really important. And because he honors me above himself, he serves me and prefers me and cares for me, and I do that with him, so that
Thank you.
That, I mean, it's just an honoring thing, and talking, when something comes up, it's best to just speak it out and say, I'm feeling this way, and deal with it. Because if you don't deal with it, then after a period of time, that seed starts to grow. It's like a brick in the wall.
Yeah. She's not saying deal with it to your spouse. She's saying you have to deal with it.
Right.
You don't have to say, so just deal with it.
No. Yeah. I mean, take it to Jesus, take it to your spouse, talk things out. Don't harbor stuff. And
as you do it, you try to be as loving and as kind as you can. And there's things that come out, without even you knowing it and that sort of thing. But usually if you will fix that right away, and it's sometimes hard where you just, no, I'm just not going to, we're not going to, this is going to be, I'm out and I'm going for a drive or whatever. No, don't even go there. Just stay, get it resolved, and then say, listen, now I do want to go out, and, but you don't just take off.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You hang in.
And I got to say that it isn't easy in the beginning. I mean, our marriage is wonderful now after 50 years, but it wasn't always smooth sailing. We hit a lot of bumps in the road, and we hit milestones, and we had years of tension, and then milestone, and then, and then growth, and then a plateau. And then, I mean, it's just, you can't expect everything to just always be wonderful.
But for those that
the first 5 years for us was the hardest. I mean, I don't know how we made it through the first 5 years. Anything and everything that could be thrown at us was thrown at us, but we got through it. And like you guys, our marriage is stronger now than it ever was before. It just got stronger and stronger. We got closer and closer to the Lord. We learned how to put him at the center of everything. And yeah,
That's it. That's the key. He's the Lord, not us. He's the Lord, and then we sit at his feet. And that's how it works. And being the husband, it's my responsibility to be there for my wife, regardless of whether I agree or been hurt or whatever. It doesn't matter. I have to stay in my position to honor my king and to do the right thing, because he's already put that in order. And he did it for a reason. And but man, I'll tell you, a woman is so important, and any man that thinks that he lords over a woman is really no man of God.
Right.
Yep. Women have a lot of wisdom that we men need to hear, and they have a perspective that we need to hear, and they make us better men.
Absolutely. Awesome. Well, Joyce and Les, we love you guys very, very much. We look very forward to seeing you again this summer. And we won't take up any more of your evening, but we do appreciate you taking time out to hang out and talk with us. And
Such an honor.
And God bless you both very, very much.
And thank you for listening to all my crazy questions.
They were great. They were great,
Good.
Desiree.
So just so
Yeah.
the people watching know that any comments they do, that I mean, we'll go back after when this is posted.
Oh, yeah.
And we'll go back and look through and we'll answer comments. So yeah.
So
yeah. And like I said earlier, we were doing the interview and then just engaged in the conversation, and I saw all the comments come in, and I apologize that I didn't, respond to that and answer anybody's questions. But yeah, like Joyce just said, yeah, we'll go back through after this and answer any questions you guys have. So thank you everybody for tuning in and watching and hanging out with us, and appreciate every single one of you. And I thank my wife for joining me, and it's been a lot of fun. We got to do this again.
Oh, I don't know. This one was special.
okay. All right. Love you guys. God bless.
Absolutely. Be blessed and be a blessing to others, everyone. Peace out.